everybody? It's WTF right here on the DJB Productions Network. My name is Danny J. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell. Share the channel. Tell your friends. And by all means, enjoy the shows. Enjoy the shows. Let's see who we got on the show today. We got Brandon Smith.
Hey, DJB Productions. What the fuck? This should be a good one.
This should be. We got Val Thompson. We got Chris Pino.
Hi, guys. WTF.
Guys, another great show at WTF today. We're going to be talking about something that guys all wish they could do and women all do too often. And that's called faking orgasms. That's right. We're all adults here. And some people feel the need to fake an orgasm. Now, is it in the best interest of your partner if you do fake it? Or are you doing this for yourself? We want to get down to the nitty gritty of this and try and say, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
Brandon and I can wholeheartedly tell you that we're not faking orgasm. As a guy,
we're trying to just hold the orgasm.
We're trying to hoard it back, but if anything, we're trying to fake that we didn't have it. You know what I mean? If anything, but women.
So nobody's faking it for themselves. I mean, like if you're faking an orgasm, well, for me at least, if I'm faking an orgasm,
like 5 minutes into it, but I'll try and go for another 30.
I mean, like no female wants to fake that shit because like we want to get off too.
But why do you fake?
We're faking it. The sex is lame and sucks, and like we're just not rocking for the motion.
Are you doing it to save that person's like feelings?
No, we want to just be done.
Oh, so you're saying if I fake it, it's like, oh, I completed. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like it, like I mean, okay, so like if it's your partner, I don't think that's what you want. If it is your partner and you're faking it, like it's more or less like, okay, like I have the wash that has to get out of the dryer. I have to cook dinner. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have like a ton of shit in my head, and like you want to have sex, and I'm not like prepared, and I just want to be done right now.
And
okay,
like
I can tell. Like a time thing. I have no time
tell, and then it's
what if
that makes it not as good.
What if Mark puts dirty clothes on his face and stuff like that, so it looks like the laundry is engaging with you? Would you get off then?
No, I probably would. No.
I'm going to suggest it to Mark. I'm going to call Mark. I'm like, Mark, next time you guys have sex, put dirty clothes on your face and stuff like that, and pretend like and hold a thing of like detergent in your hand, and see what she does.
This is what's on my mind right now. I'm not really into this.
And just constantly chant, "I'm getting clean. I'm getting clean."
I know exactly what you mean. I've been to the point where like, okay, I'm out. I'm done. Go do whatever you need to do. You're obviously not engaged and involved in this, so maybe this is not the right time. Maybe we should.
It's just not the right. If you're involved, and sometimes it's just not the right time, and not for nothing, but I think guys are like that too. Because don't tell me you're like stressed out at work, you got this going on, that going on, and like your partner, I'm talking about now.
We're not always
come to you and be like, "Come on, man, like I'm feeling lucky."
Yeah, you're right.
I just don't feel it. And when guys don't feel it, the difference between females and guys is us females. It's like it's in our head, I guess, that like it's our duty to do this shit. So we're like, all right, he ain't gonna stop because you're just too damn persistent. So we're like, okay, we gotta do this. 10 minutes, okay, and we'll fake it so you get off and we're done. That's what that's about.
Well, and then when that happens, then we're not in it. Then we start thinking about everything else too.
You just made a good point though, Peony, in the sense that like it's a stereotype, and it's a pretty good. It's a pretty good stereotype, but it's a stereotype that guys are just like, I don't care what's going on in my day. I'm getting laid tonight, blah, blah, blah. And you're right in saying that there are many guys that are like, if I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the mood. And I'm
and
not.
That's it. You shut down. Like men will men can shut it down and go, I don't want this tonight. I'm not in the mood.
Like
I'm going to bed. And you know, I love this one. I gotta be up at work at 5 in the morning. I don't have time to, and like sometimes you're like, okay, but like it's 10 minutes. Like now,
Brandon and I, it's funny you say that.
Sometimes it gets so tricky, you know.
Brandon and I
in the head, and then it's one way. You start feeling that way, we start feeling that way, and then it's just a train wreck. It's like, oh,
Brandon and I both work for UPS. Brandon and I both work for UPS, so we have to get up very early in the morning, right? So my wife literally just said this the other day. She's like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I said, it's a school night. I said, I can't be bothered with this stuff. It's a school night. I said, no, I have to go to bed at 11 o'clock. I don't want to be bothered with this. You know, I mean, I'm an old man now. I gotta prepare. I gotta get myself.
Yeah, exactly. Now, wait a second. Now let me go. That was with a partner. So now you're faking an orgasm, and you're not in a relationship.
A guy will never fake an orgasm. I don't think we're capable of it.
Well,
like I said, we joked about it, but I think we'll fake it happening and saying like we're going to try and keep going. And
then would you say when you're not in a relationship, you're going to obviously be more involved too than when you are in a relationship? There won't be those times when you're thinking about work or something else. It's like when you're in the relationship, you've had enough.
A lot of times
you're not trying to work towards like the best sex you've ever had in your life.
A lot of times, like women will get annoyed with men because they're so fast. Let's say it's 5 minutes, like we joked around, but it's 5 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes. And I used to bring up the argument, be like,
"That's fine if you can get right back up."
I'd be like, "But you're so attractive that I couldn't contain myself." Take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
You know, as a girl, you're busting me out like a cat.
Even though you didn't get yours, I got mine.
That as a compliment. But
if you're with a guy, Pino, if you're with a guy and that guy's taking an hour to get off, then there might be something wrong with you.
I know. So that never happened.
Okay.
But
5 minutes. She's like, I always got 5 minutes.
If you do it, if you're done within 5 minutes, I will take that as a compliment. Definitely, most definitely.
You should.
However, I didn't get if the sex was good enough and I want to continue with it. I'm gonna get you whatever you need because we're gonna be doing a second round. Like, great, you just did that. We're in a second round now. Let's go because I need. I need to be where you are. I need to climb.
You need to get off in 5 minutes.
If you're not in a relationship, let me just get this out. If you're not in a relationship and you're a female that fakes an orgasm, 99% of the time is because that guy is not performing. Like it just.
And here's a problem. I'm gonna pull back.
You just want to go home.
I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. Okay, the sex is different for women as it is for men because with women can go round 2, round 3. Women can still be in the mood, blah, blah, blah. Once that guy is done, I hate to tell you, and this is not us deciding this. We are done. Understand this. And Brandon, I don't
understand this.
Don't bullshit. Don't bullshit. When we are done, we are done. We are done. That's why it takes so long to get around to.
Go get that Viagra pill. Go get that little blue pill and let's keep going.
I got news for you. It doesn't do that.
Well, Dan, I'm going to
add more things to your routine then, I guess.
It's like you just took everything out of me with that just keeps me hard. It keeps me going. That's what that is.
Right.
And then you can, obviously wait it off, sleep it off, get back to it, get something to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. And
we're going
to get back to it.
There she goes.
I'm going to make sure your nutrition.
You want some pie? You want some cherry pie?
What you have to, I think what you have to really engage and embrace is the foreplay above anything else, because I think that's where it really gives you great love making in a sense, because in all honesty, that's going to be relatively quick.
What you're saying, Dad.
It's going to be relatively quick. Yeah.
Don't just go right into it because then you're just boom, boom, boom.
It's going to be 5-10 minutes.
Beginning that whole.
Especially if you're into her. Like if I'm into Pino, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to last that long with Pino. So I got to I got to soup Pino up a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? And Pino's going to be like, oh my God, just get on with it. Please, just get on with it. I'm running out of poster poses. I don't know what to do, Yeah. So I mean, that's the kind of thing, and a smart guy will embrace that and will do that. A smart guy will understand that he is not a woman, so therefore he cannot be.
If you can foreplay, the longer you foreplay, the better the sex will be. And when you finally, if the sex only lasts for a few minutes, it does not matter because the female has already climaxed during that foreplay.
That's right.
If you know what you're doing.
That's right. That's right. And my key is that she has to climax once before I do anything. because that way she can't say, oh, geez, I don't want her to fake it. You know what I mean? I want her to say, oh, well, it happened like 20 minutes ago, but all right, whatever. You know what I mean? As long as it well, it happened. It happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll fight you on it. Now, in your relationship, it's probably a little different because now you are in a scenario where neither one of you are 5 minutes.
You can keep going all day.
Now, that's got to be a problem.
Well, this is what I say to other guys because I'm like, what am I going to do with 5 minutes?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's the problem I've had with some guys too, where I'm like,
yeah,
they're done, and you're
That's
like,
why women have songs about it.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I came. You know what I mean? I mean, what did it do? Andrew Dice Clay said, "Oh, I came." You know what I mean? That's what it was.
Dickory dock.
But Val, now, and this is a funny statement, but Val, this is a serious question. Now you're with Melissa, and the both of you can probably go for days. Like, when do you just say call it quits? Who puts up the flag, Val? Who puts up the flag, Val?
I was gonna say, I guess it depends on who runs out of energy first.
Because Val, here's the thing about.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome? I know. Now, here, let me explain. Let me pull back the curtain a little bit. And Val, I hope you don't get offended. I pull back this curtain. Val is like the Napoleon to Andre the Giant. It's basically what this relationship looks like, right?
Yeah, our height differences are very drastic.
Very drastic, right? So I'm like, I get intrigued by that, just by that. I'm like, I see them like, Val, I got to talk to you too.
Yeah, he's still infatuated with like the logistics.
I'm like, Val, I'm going to hit you up on StreamYard here. And I just want you to put the camera up there and then just forget I'm there. And I just want to watch them like this. Just like, because I'm so intrigued because Melissa, who's a very beautiful girl, and she's what? She's 5'10", 5'11"? She's 6?
6'1".
She's 6'1".
Wow.
And I was 5'8". I shrunk a little bit. I'm 5'7.5" now. So like I'm even going down. I'm going backwards. So I'm like, this is a big woman. You know what I mean? I'm thinking to myself, if a guy, I'm like, yo, I'll get my Indiana Jones hat and I'm like, I'm going to get down because this is like Temple of Doom here. But for Val, the Val comes up and she's like Napoleon. She walks in, and I'm like, I said, I picture in my mind that Val controls all that shit, right? Right. And I'm like, because that just seems like that would be the coolest and the funniest thing to watch in the face. Like, it's not that they're funny, but like, I think that would make me laugh like really, really hard. If Val's
Well, she can flip Val whichever way she wants.
But if Val's doing the flipping, that's
she can flip it whichever way she wants. Yeah.
Right.
So Val's loving it because she's just like.
And here's the deal. And now here's the deal.
There's
now
like somersaults in the bedroom.
You got to take their sizes into play though, because now Val's a much smaller girl. So Val's endurance
you can play with.
Val's endurance and Val's cardio is going to be a lot better than Melissa's. Right. Melissa's not tall and skinny. Melissa's tall and healthy. So Melissa's gonna run out of steam. She's gonna run out of gas before Val is. I'm going to say that. And Melissa can hit me up later and say, Dan, go fuck yourself. I mean, it's true. I mean, but that's what I think. I think she's going to get gassed before Val is, because Melissa's got more going on than Val does as far as what she did. It's like a little sailboat and an ocean liner colliding, right? Like this.
Dan, you put way too much thought into envisioning her sex life in the bedroom.
That's why I have 9 TVs. That's why I have 9 shows on this network.
What the fuck, Dan?
Right? Right? That's what makes the show great. So Val, realistically though, now you said like until somebody runs out, but like give us an average. How long does this sometimes happen? Like how long is average play?
An average of like the whole time?
Yeah, like whole time.
I would say like an hour, I guess, at least average.
So not longer than that, because an hour is not bad. I mean, an hour is pretty.
It depends. I mean, obviously we have, but I would say on average that.
Now because I think in a lesbian couple, I would think that the entire sex thing is foreplay. Is that because of that, maybe?
Yeah, probably is the majority of it, I guess.
Let's think about that physically for a second. Like I can have foreplay for an hour easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as soon as I'm getting ready to go, it's going to be about 15 minutes or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Now, Val doesn't have to worry about that, and Melissa doesn't have to worry about that. So they're just bypassing. They're bypassing the shuttle bus, and they're just like they're right there. They're airdropped onto
so I have
the
a
cruise.
question for the men. Hold on. I have a question to the men.
What?
Do you find that you're older now?
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot, your stamina is lower.
I feel like I
you
haven't
can't
really
perform
lost any.
Well,
as
Brandon,
long
It's
as
the
you
fact if
did
I'm in the
in your
mood.
20s.
Brandon,
Still in
feel
the
this
mood.
first. Brandon, feel this first because see, I got a problem. I'm diabetic.
It's more mood than anything. I mean, before you definitely probably had a little bit more stamina and stuff. Now there's a little bit more feelings and emotions, involved. I would say to keep you going, and that's why it's so important to have that person with that good connection with. Pretty good looking, a good connection. Both know what you're doing, stay in rhythm.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't say anything has really backed off for me, like as I've gotten older. At least not yet.
Me, I'm diabetic, and with the diabetes, unfortunately, my mind is here and my body's like, nah, dude, whatever. You're down here somewhere. Like they never meet in the middle, and
It's more
and
mind.
unfortunately,
It's more in the head.
it's fortunate for me that like I don't mind talking about it and stuff like that. I have to. It's frustrating on a guy's end because like a woman, even though she might not be in the mood, a woman can get in the mood if she had to. For example,
Yes.
a guy can't do that. Like I could completely be in the mood, and my body's like, no, dude, you're not in the mood. No, I am, dude. No hablo inglés. It's like it's what
You're
happens.
having a bad day.
And that's what happens. And with diabetes, unfortunately, that's a very degenerative disease. And that in the last probably 8 years has played a toll in my lovemaking. And it made me have to adjust and do a lot of things. And in all honesty, it has taken a lot of my confidence in general. It sounds really weird, but like machismo, which is a funny word. But as a DJ, and Val, your dad was a DJ, so I don't know if you kind of like saw this with him or whatever, but like as a DJ, like a lot of my allure as a DJ for people to come back and see me and stuff like that is not the music I'm playing per se, but it's like, oh, that's that Danny. I want to go see Danny. Just like when you go to see a hot bartender or something like that. Like,
yeah, I understand because my dad was a drummer and a DJ, so I
okay,
saw a lot of that coming up.
You get that. So the
Especially
thing is,
being a drummer, people went to see him and his band.
yeah. So now and not that this would happen, but like in a bar setting, if I'm DJing and if I see a hot girl, I'd be like, oh, I could totally get with her. And like I had the confidence of it, and not that I was pursuing it, but because I had that confidence and that look in my eye, that exuded out into everything I did. Now with the diabetes, it's like, oh, if things were 8 years ago, I would totally rock you now. 8 years ago, hold me back.
Confidence.
It's not like that anymore.
You're happy. Endorphins
and
are going.
You know what though? I personally saw it happen in my DJing, in my my mentality of what I was doing. It kind of like messed me up in that sense, and therefore it was a thing where I'm not going to satisfy this one or satisfy that one, and therefore I'm not exuding that confidence anymore. So now I'm just this guy behind the thing, just playing music, and the whole show is gone in my eyes. You know what I mean? And the people who know me wouldn't necessarily see that. Like Pino might come out and see me DJ or whatever and say, oh, I didn't see anything different in what you do, blah, blah, blah. But because she knows me. But people who don't know me are like, oh, yeah, that DJ's sexy. But they're not saying that anymore. And it's not because I grew a horn out of my head or something like that. It's because I'm not putting myself out there. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, Dan, you're a lot older now too, so that like, oh, I want to get with the DJ vibe is kind of like
nobody wants to get with the DJ anymore. Nobody wants to get with the DJ. No, they don't. The DJ, the days of the DJ getting with people was so long ago. It's
totally 90s and
younger.
Nobody wants to get with the DJ.
It is about 20 years ago. It's the truth.
Now we know, like, oh yeah, the DJ, he got around, and I don't want to get with him.
Yeah. Dude, you ain't kidding. Because you know why? Because the DJ was more accessible than the
21-year-old DJs out there right now, damn, they're getting some.
Yeah, they are. And it's because they're all hanging with hoes and bringing hoes in and stuff like that, which is good. Hoes is another show we're going to talk about in a later episode. But yeah. So I mean, girls, let's in a final note here. Faking it. Are you faking it for yourself or faking it for them?
Neither. Like you're faking it to like just get done. Just get
Well,
done.
that's for
And
you.
if I'm
That's
wrong,
for you.
ladies, if I'm wrong, tell me. But
Then you're
I'm not
faking it for
faking
yourself.
I mean, like when you say, "Are you faking it for them?" The only reason why I'd be faking it for another man is because I don't want to like
Insult
let him know that it suck. Like,
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So you're trying not to insult him.
insult him. But
Right. But if you're doing it to get it done, that means you're like you just want to get this over with and get out of it. So
I think
that's
it's
for
the
you.
same thing. I
That's you
just
being
want to get it
selfish.
over with. It's
Yeah.
not. I'm not feeling it. There's like
Right.
Brandon was saying, like, you know, there's no. You could be, and like we said in the previous show, you could be a hot person and like have no rhythm in the bedroom. So
Yeah.
like, if there's no connection by the time we got to the bedroom, and it's just like it just went down for me, I'm just like, okay, let's. I'm faking it, so then you're like, because I mean, guys, let's be real, you're gonna keep going until you achieve this.
But real quick though. But real
So,
quick.
I mean, it's like
When
I
we
got
say
a
fake it though.
trophy.
When we say fake
No,
it
so
though.
I'm just gonna fake it so you can feel like you achieved
Well,
something.
Pino, how do I know if you faked it, Pino? Pino, what's the
What?
fake move? What's the fake move? How do I know if you faked it? How do I
You'll
know
never know, Dan. You won't know.
But I want to know. I
never
want to know.
know, Dan.
You
When
do
is
not
Pino?
know.
Too old
When is
now.
Pino
You'll never
done?
find
That's
out.
what I want to know. I want to know when is Pino done. I want to see that
Well,
move. Is he like what do you do? The seizure? What do you do? Your eyes roll back? do you speak in rhymes?
He
Like what do
doesn't
you
get
do?
in rhythm. You know what it is?
I don't
They
know, but
don't
I'm
get
into,
in
I mean,
rhythm.
I
They
don't know.
stop. And then
Like I want to know.
like
I want to know what like
and
Mark's
there's
indication
no more
is. Like
rhythm.
yeah, I finished this one. You know, I would know.
They're not working it with you.
Is he like meatballs?
We gotta make dinner. I gotta do laundry.
That is
Where's
what's
the
going
soap?
in my head a lot of times. Yeah.
Or is she like Joe Pesci in Lethal Weapon? He's like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Hey, me or what?
Yeah, you.
No, it's not like that. You won't, I don't know. I don't know.
Like I can imagine
You
she's
won't
like, all
know
right,
about dating.
finish. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Anybody. I mean, you
That's when
gotta
you
like
lay there and
good.
you don't move. That's
But
the
I mean, I would
answer.
like to know. I mean, I would like
Not
to see like,
answer.
you
lay
got.
there,
There's
you
got to
don't
be a
move,
Pino move.
And then you
There's
throw
got to be a
one of
move.
these. Are you done yet?
Because I can't imagine that you're just there and you're like this,
over.
and then like, well, I'm done. But she hasn't made any kind of indication whether she's done or not. I don't know if I should stop. Like I
I'm
want to
not
know.
a fucking dead fish now. Hold on.
I'm not
I'm
saying
not a
that.
dead fish.
I'm not saying that.
saying
Maybe
you
maybe you're
like,
getting like this Sade move going on, like this smooth operator going. You're like, she got headphones on. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? It's like we're not having
giving
sex. I'm
away my
dancing.
secrets on
just
the
when
show.
you're done,
Okay?
you're done.
What the fuck?
I'm not. No, this is her. What the fuck? I'm not like. I'm not giving away my secrets. No.
I love how we put her. I love how we put her on the spot. And Val's like, yeah, I'm all about this. Put her on the
He's
spot.
over there doing the Ric Flair, and she's over there like,
Yeah.
I see her backing the fuck up too. Like, hey, where's my women power here? Some support now. I am not giving this up. No, you can keep envisioning
You're
whatever you
going,
want.
yes, honey, we're trying to throw a couple smacks in there to get the engine going.
And the whole time you won't know. You will not know.
Right? You won't know at all. Guys,
I'll tell you what. Right. If you've reached a boundary that I don't like, I'll give you one little thing. If you've reached a boundary that I don't like, I will let you know that.
What's that, anal?
Well, nothing good. Okay. If you're attempting to go somewhere that I don't like, you will know that.
Spotlight.
If you are attempting, if you pulled out the map, if you pulled out the map, if you pulled out the map, you're like,
whoa, hey,
no, that's not the destination we're going. We're not going to that destination, guys.
We're not going there.
Women, I urge you to stop doing all this faking stuff. Just stop it. You're not going to hurt our feelings because you know why we came. We're good. You're not going to hurt our feelings at all. As long as you come back, I think every guy will say this. As long as they come back, I don't really care if they fake it or not. Right or wrong, you're not going to hurt our feelings.
Yeah, as long as you come back.
Right, Brandon, as long as they come back, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, baseball has multiple innings. They don't necessarily do everything in the first couple innings.
You know, women, on the other hand, are very insulted if you fake it.
But we don't fake it. Well, I guess
there
if you
is,
fake it.
it's not that we don't ever fake it. There is times
I don't
where it's
fake
like,
it.
oh, I'm here, I'm doing it. It goes both ways. There is times where
Well, not with other women.
Anyway, guys
She's
fake it. They
talking
said
about other women. She's
Other
talking
women.
about
yeah.
Dude, I was gonna say the only way guys are faking it if they're saying they're single. That's the only way we're faking it. Oh yeah, I'm single. Don't worry about that ring. My wife died. It's like I'm a widower. Oh, you fake son of a bitch! She dropped you off. But anyway. So guys, for Brandon, for Bino, and for Val, my name's Danny J. Until next time, don't fake it. But what the fuck?
girls. If it's not good, fake it.
There you go.